Now, let's first understand the first return, which is called GSTR1. Now, it is also called R1 in short. Now, it can be either a monthly or a quarterly return, which gives summary of all the sales of the taxpayer. Now, it is also called outward supplies. The term which is used in under the GST Act to denote sales is outward supplies. Now, this return contains either it can be filed monthly or it can be filed quarterly with giving full details of the sales of the taxpayer. Now, let's understand, when these returns are filed, particularly R1. Now, the rule is that by 11th of every month, a monthly return has to be filed if your turnover is more than 5 crores. That means the aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore and you have not opted for quarterly return scheme. But in case if you have opted for a quarterly return scheme, then the date is 13th of the month following every quarter. So if you are filing a quarterly return and you are chosen to be under QRMP scheme, then you are supposed to file the return on 13th of the month following the quarter. Now we can look at the portal, the GST return, GSTR1 return. So we go to services, go to returns and return dashboard. And then you can choose the financial year, quarter, since the returns for 2 quarters have been filed. So let's go to quarter one and search. So we will find these returns at the bottom. So this is the first return, details of output supplies of goods or services, which is called GSTR1. And in this case, it has been filed quarterly because the assessee is having a turnover less than 5 crore. So we can view the return. So this is the name of the assessee. And then we can have all the details here. The invoices are basically uploaded, and the large invoices are also, we can raise these invoices from the portal itself. Export invoices, B2C. So basically it talks about B2B and B2C, and export invoices B2C. And the supplies which are nil rated, that means there is no tax which has been collected. All credit and debit notes, towards the unregistered suppliers. Then any advance which has been received, and then it talks about basically then we can just go and see the summary. So this is the summary of consolidated summary of R1 return, which talks about taxable output supplies made to the registered persons. Okay, B2B regular. So invoice total is given. Okay, so it's B2B. Then taxable output supplies to registered person attracting tax, B2B. Then we can just go down where the information is there. All export invoices, debit note, credit notes, and to all unregistered persons. So this is basically B2C, where the maximum sale of this company is. So the net value of all the sales invoices is 31,91,000, and they have collected 2,87,000 as CGST and 2,87,000 as SGST, because this is the supply or sale happening in the state of Haryana. Then it will have all the details which are given at the bottom. Deemed exports, credit notes and debit notes. So there are not any in this return. So we can just browse through. So this gives you a complete detail about the sales made during the quarter. That means from April, May, June. Okay. And my next video will be covering R2B.